So, today we will be discussing what is next for Conor Benn. So, obviously, recently he overcame Dobson in America, beating him on points. He won fairly comfortably, but it's probably fair to say he got caught more than he would have liked to in that fight. Because he's fighting American opponents, it's hard to know where his level at as well. I watched Joey Knight's video recently on him, and he reckons that he is about European level, which probably seems about fair. So the first question I'm going to ask is it possible that he's lost his power, now he's off the juice? Because obviously the last two fights, he hasn't got the knockdowns that he was getting, before he had the break and before the controversy came surrounding his steroid use. So I think it is possible, it's definitely something you have to look at, it is possible. But, 2 years out the ring isn't going to do anyone good. It could just be ring rust. And then the two guys he's got on with have actually been quite good. The Mexican he fought had a decent record, and Mexicans always have heart. And then, Dobson, undefeated, looked pretty good in that fight. Obviously not brilliant, but looked like he had potential. And I think, obviously, you've got to remember that at these lighter weights, you're not going to be knocking every guy out. A lot of top guys at this weight aren't knocking everyone out. So what is next for Conor Benn? Joey Knight suggested that, if he was able to come back to Britain, obviously at the moment, he hasn't got his British Boxing Board of Control licence, so he can't fight in Britain. But I think if he would come back to Britain, Josh Kelly would perhaps be a good fight. I think he's got the British title at the moment, previously had the Commonwealth one. So that would be a good fight around his weight division. Would be able to give British fans a good fight and see where his level is. And obviously, he's had a lot of beef online with Gervonta Davis. Honestly, I quite like the fight. I can see Tank taking the fight. I reckon he thinks he'll be able to beat him. It's hard to know if Tank wants, the biggest of all fights. I don't know if he's quite at the stage of his career where he's willing to kind of take a 50-50. Obviously, he took Garcia, but he did have the rehydration clause, so that was probably why he took it. But I reckon Tank thinks he can beat a Conor Benn, especially after watching that. He probably thinks he can take him. And obviously Conor Benn, hard guy, thinks he can, has that fighter's mindset, believes he can beat anyone, probably willing to take the fight. I mean, I like the fight. I think it sells, two smaller guys. Conor Benn is, he is quite small. He did look quite small at the weight yesterday against his opponent. So I think going down a weight might suit him. So yeah, I think it could be a good fight. I think Gervonta Davis would probably be the favourite, with his knockout power. But, Conor Benn obviously has heart, and he was knocking out people before his, long break. And now that he's had two fights, maybe he thinks he's ready for a Gervonta Davis. Does he want a few more fights before he would fight, a Gervonta Davis, who is right at the top of the pack? It's hard to know, because I think often we've seen with big fights, if you keep putting them off, sometimes it's not a good thing, because eventually someone will lose. We saw that with Wilder Joshua, never got made because Wilder lost. Fury Joshua, that doesn't look like it's going to happen now. And I think what we've learned from things like Ruiz Joshua and Garner Fury, sometimes if a big fight is offered to you, you should just take it, because this is boxing, you don't know what's going to happen. And as a fighter, you should really be fighting the best. Anthony Joshua's got a lot of respect, because although he has lost a few times, he did fight the best. He's got a lot of good names on his resume, whereas, people like Tyson Fury are coming along criticism because although they've got that undefeated record, maybe the names aren't there yet. Obviously, I won't say yet, because, Fury does, he's come out saying today he wants to, fight, obviously, Usyk twice, and he wants Joshua as well, and then a rematch with Ngannou. So, we have to believe him when he says it, and hope it does happen. So, yeah, that's today's video. What is next for Conor Benn? What kind of level is he at? Comment if you agree with me in the comments. Josh Kelly, Tank Davis, would these be good fights? Give me some other names in the comments. What do you think? Is he at European level, as Joey Knight thinks? Let me know. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.